In this video, I will tell you about the coolest series of the first half of 2025 on the Netflix platform. But first, I have a challenge for you. Only 5% of viewers will be able to like and subscribe to the channel before time runs out. 3, 2, 1. Comment done if you manage to do it in time. The first half of 2025 brought Netflix viewers a wealth of striking premieres. This selection features 10 projects that achieved the highest audience engagement thanks to gripping storylines and top-tier production quality. From crime dramas to epic sci-fi sagas, these stories had millions glued to their screens. Discover the shows that define the trends of this half year. At number 10, we have the limited series American Primeval, rightfully earning its spot. American Primeval is a dark, gritty Netflix miniseries set in the mid-19th century, deep in the heart of the American frontier. The main character, Isaac Reed, Taylor Kitsch, is a broken hunter and former soldier trying to survive and find meaning after a personal tragedy. He becomes a guide for a group of settlers, including Sarah Rowell, Betty Gilpin, and her son Devin Rowell, Preston Moda, who are fleeing persecution. They face the harsh wilderness, violence, interethnic conflict, and their own inner demons. Along their journey are Mormon fanatics, brutal slavers, hostile Native American groups, and traders playing both sides. Each character represents a facet of the struggle for survival, faith, freedom, and control over a land with no boundaries. The series tackles themes of violence and power, religious fanaticism, the fate of indigenous peoples, broken families, and personal redemption. It's a story about how brutal and merciless the making of America truly was, without romance or illusions. Views: 46,500,000 hours watched, 234,300,000. At number 9 is Ginny and Georgia, Season 3. Season 3 of Ginny and Georgia is a story of the past catching up and a family learning to survive chaos. The season begins with Georgia, Brianne Howie, being arrested at her own wedding, accused of murder. The shock shakes her entire family, especially her children. While under house arrest and awaiting trial, Georgia relies on Ginny, Antonia Gentry, who takes control, finding a lawyer, building a defense strategy, and manipulating those around her to save her mother. Georgia is eventually acquitted, but the family's trust is fractured. Meanwhile, teenage subplots unfold. Ginny navigates her feelings for Marcus, Felix Mallard, new relationships bloom, and uncertainty grows. Max, Sarah Weisglass, becomes distant, and Austin, Diesel La Taraka, struggles with anxiety. In the finale, Georgia may be pregnant again, and her dark past resurfaces, hinting at new dangers. The season ends in uneasy calm before the storm, clearly setting the stage for Season 4. Views: 48,100,000 hours watched, 508,200,000. Climbing higher, at number 8 is The Night Agent, Season 2. Season 2 of The Night Agent is a tense spy thriller following Agent Peter Sutherland, Gabriel Basso, as he faces a new international threat. After a tragic mission in Bangkok, Peter becomes entangled in a conspiracy involving bioweapons and high-ranking politicians. He teams up with Rose Larkin, Lucianne Buchanan, and a new ally, Noor, to stop a series of terrorist attacks in New York, including one targeting the United Nations. Along the way, he discovers he unintentionally influenced the outcome of a presidential election by leaking compromising material. The season ends with a victory, but not without cost. Rose leaves to start anew, and Peter agrees to a dangerous undercover mission to infiltrate the organization behind the conspiracy. His journey is just beginning. Views: 53,200,000 hours watched, 457,800,000. At number 7 is the series Sirens. This miniseries follows Devin DeWitt, Megan Fahey, who arrives on a luxurious island searching for her younger sister Simone, Millie Alcock, now working as a personal assistant to the enigmatic and powerful Michaela Kell, Julianne Moore. Devin suspects Simone is under dangerous psychological influence and tries to pull her out. Over an intense weekend set against the backdrop of an elite party, layered family and social dramas unfold, exploring themes of power, manipulation, and class. In the end, Michaela is cleared of any murder accusations, and Simone remains within the elite circle, gaining new power while Devin returns to care for her family. A blend of dark comedy and psychological drama, Sirens portrays the complexity of human relationships and the search for freedom. Views 53,300,000 hours watched, 252,300,000. At number 6 is the docuseries American Murder, Gabby Petito. This three-part Netflix documentary tells the tragic story of 22-year-old blogger Gabby Petito, who went on a cross-country trip with fiancé Brian Laundrie and never returned. Using her video diaries, photos, social media posts, and interviews with loved ones, the series reconstructs Gabby's final days and reveals the dark dynamics hidden behind the van life image. Gabby was found dead in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, and her death ruled a homicide. Brian returned home alone, refused to speak with police, and later disappeared. His remains were found in October 2021, with his death declared a suicide. A notebook found with him included a confession, which Gabby's family disputes. The series explores not just one crime, but broader questions about relationships, abuse, manipulation, and the false images social media can portray. Views 56,100,000 hours watched, 120,600,000. Opening the top 5 is the miniseries Missing You. This detective thriller, based on Harlan Coben's novel, premiered on Netflix in 2025. It follows Detective Kat Donovan, Rosalind Elizar, who unexpectedly sees her ex-fiancé Josh, Ashley Walters, missing for 11 years on a dating app. This discovery forces her to revisit the past and uncover secrets tied to her father's death. Police officer Clint Donovan, Sir Lenny Henry, with partner Stodger, Richard Armitage, and PI Stacy, Jessica Plummer, Kat dives into a case filled with personal twists. She learns her father was involved with a criminal gang and that Josh had unknowingly played a part in his death. In the finale, Kat faces a choice: forgive Josh and try again, or leave the past behind. The series blends thriller and drama, exploring themes of love, loss, and family secrets. Though critics gave mixed reviews, fans of psychological crime stories responded strongly. Views 58 million hours watched, 218,600,000. At number 4 is 0 Day, firmly approaching the top of the list. 0 Day is a political thriller that debuted on Netflix in 2025, with Robert De Niro taking on his first-ever series role. A catastrophic cyber attack disables key U.S. infrastructure, causing massive casualties. Former President George Mullen De Niro leads the 0 Day Commission, formed to investigate the incident. He faces disinformation, the ambitions of political, tech, and financial elites, and his own dark secrets, all while risking everything he values. The 6-part series was created by Eric Newman, Noah Oppenheim, and Michael Schmidt, and directed by Leslie Linka Glatter. The cast also includes Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Plemons, Joan Allen, Connie Britton, Angela Bassett, and Dan Stevens. 0 Day earned praise for its tense plot, timely themes, and powerful performances. It tackles key issues like cyber threats, political manipulation, and personal responsibility in times of crisis. Views 61,300,000 hours watched, 315,800,000. At number 3 is Squid Game, Season 3, rightfully earning a spot on the podium. After the previous deadly games, Seong Gi-hoon realizes that his true enemies are not the other players, but the ruthless organizers of the tournament. After the failed uprising, Seong Gi-hoon returns, broken, haunted, yet forced back into the deadly game. No longer driven by revenge but with a sense of duty, he re-enters the deadly game with nothing left to lose. The organization has evolved, the games are more twisted than ever, and trust is extinct among contestants. Meanwhile, a parallel storyline follows Detective Hwang Jun-ho, who continues his relentless search for the secret island where the games are held. Views 71,500,000 hours watched, 438,600,000. Taking second place is Squid Game, Season 2. The second season continues the story of Seong Gi-hoon, who cancels his trip to the US and returns to the game, determined to end it once and for all. This time, the rules have changed. Players vote after each round to decide whether the game continues, and the prize pot grows with each stage. Gi-hoon tries to persuade others to quit, but greed and desperation push them to continue. The season places greater emphasis on teamwork and psychological pressure. Meanwhile, Detective Hwang Jun-ho resumes his search for the island and the organization behind the games. The season ends with the rebellion Gi-hoon leads ultimately failing, and possibly his death. Views: 117,300,000 hours watched, 840,300,000. And finally, in first place is the miniseries Adolescence, the undisputed champion of our list. Adolescence is a British psychological drama that premiered on Netflix on March 13, 2025. The story centers on 13-year-old Jamie Miller, Owen Cooper, accused of murdering his classmate Katie Leonard. Told in real time, the series follows Jamie's family, a detective, and a therapist as they try to uncover what really happened. It explores themes of teenage aggression, the influence of social media, and the pressures facing modern youth. Each of the 4 episodes is shot in a single continuous take, giving the show a gripping and realistic tone. Stephen Graham, who plays Jamie's father, also co-wrote the script. The series earned critical acclaim and became one of the most talked-about shows of 2025. Views: 144,800,000 hours watched, 555,100,000. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other videos. There's still a lot of interesting stuff. See you later.